I'm going to hand over now to Michelle Boyson. Dr. Mitch, let's open up for a few questions. Could you perhaps just facilitate and pose those questions to the audience or to our panel?
To the panel, yes, from Annalisa. This is probably for you, Vincent. When we spoke about data and AI, processing data received from the customer is what we focus on for privacy. But are we also needing to look at how agentic systems use data, which quite, it's a duplication of the human being, if I may say so. This is quite often designed to share more information that's needed to ensure the next agent down the line has what it's needed or what it actually needs. Is the current privacy regulation robust enough to deal with this?
Yeah, it is. It is basically broadly describing processing. So there's a very broad definition of what processing is. So AI agents that you've designed using information or personal information you're giving it is processing of personal information. So what it means is then that in your privacy notice, you need to cover that you would utilize AI agents in whatever way it is that you are processing that information. Remembering that when you do processing purpose, it doesn't have to be hyper-specific in your privacy notice. So you can be broad, but not too general. Got to strike the right balance.
Okay, thank you. Interesting. Neil asks, and I'm throwing this open to anyone in the panel, how does one align organizational and governmental policies with the move fast and break things mentality that tech providers have? It certainly, and I agree with you, Neil, that it sometimes feels like compliance is trying to chase the misuse of new tools.
If I can maybe jump in there and say you take a sandbox approach, and what you use in your sandbox should be fictitious data. So you can fail fast using fictitious data, and then compliance is not going to have any issues with you. So make sure you're failing fast, understanding what compliance controls you need to put in place so that when you go to your production system, you've got those controls that compliance will be looking for.
Thanks, Vincent. Neil, I hope that, I know you're, for a long time, you're in the developer space, so I hope that's helpful. Susan made a point, again, on privacy. It seems like you're on the podium, Vincent, that the privacy model is a trap to protect business. So basically, if you go onto a site and you don't agree or consent, then they say, okay, bye, you can go. But what if I really do want a product or a service and I want to stay on there? So the point she's making is it's protecting business, but is it protecting me as the potential consumer?
I think it enshrines typical rights that many constitutions have. For example, if I own a property, I don't want you trespassing on my property. And if you are on my property by invitation, I want you to leave, I have the right to ask you to leave. So I'm entering into a company's domain. And if that is the conditions for them offering their service, and I don't like those conditions, so be it, then I can't enter into their domain. It's not to say that that's my only option though, right? I should be able to find a company with similar ethics and standards to my own and get that service then from a company that's on that same page as me.
Okay, I hope that helps, Susan. I think this could be an interesting discussion point. I have one question which I would like to ask is, for each of the presenters today, what is the one thing, the one regulatory or technology shift you believe will catch most organizations off guard in 2026? And I'm going to start with Christian. that one thing that you think is going to catch people off guard?
Suddenly, last phrase was cut, but it's all clear. Basically, what the piece of technology that will catch organization off guard. I mean, AI is a big topic because include a lot of other things, but definitely is the one, because especially when we talk about the compliance department, they actually don't know what's going on. And when I see government not even figuring out what's going on, including central banks, then is when I realize that they are going to be a little bit more than off guard. When we talk about like the guys that are regulating the financial sector, they don't understand what's going on, so it's a little bit more serious than what everyone could expect. So for me, it's definitely going to be AI no matter what.
Thank you. Leanne?
Yeah, I think if I have to tackle onto the AI theme, I would say probably something I can just see as catching us off guard would be firms using AI to provide data. So not just implementing AI to become an employee of theirs and remediating, but I think generating and providing data by AI firms. That's what I can foresee. I don't know how reputable it would be, but I do think it's going to catch us off guard at some point.
Thanks, Dan. Vincent, do you have the final word before I hand over to Justin?
Yeah, I think I would say it's assuming that we are compliant because we were compliant. Regulations are constantly changing. The technology you're using in your business is constantly changing. And I think that in itself means that your compliance is outdated, because you need to keep your notices up to date with the new softwares that you are using. So yeah, assuming I was compliant, therefore I am compliant.